Hi and welcome everyone to the 14th episode of The Little Inside. My name is still Tobi, and this week we're going to have a look at the subject of thinking. So let's do this right after the intro. Mindfulness of thoughts. This is something we hear quite often nowadays, and I think it's a great question actually, it's a great subject. But what does it actually mean to be mindful of thoughts? So in order to really understand what it means to be mindful of thoughts, you want to first cultivate mindfulness of the body. And how is that done? Very simple. Can you feel your body right now as you're listening or seeing this video, watching this video? Can you feel your body sitting, standing, lying down, wherever you are right now? Can you feel your body? Like this kind of the sense of bodiness. Can you experience that? Can you notice it? Good. Now when you're noticing and feeling your body like this, then that which is aware of the body right now can be called mindfulness. So you're right now mindful of your body. See, that's that simple. So when you're feeling your body, we can say you're mindful of your body. Okay? So you're actually aware. You're keeping the body in mind. You're not forgetting the body. You can say also it's kind of the faculty of remembrance. You're remembering your body, keeping it in mind. When you're cultivating that a lot, like day in, day out, when you wake up in the morning, first thing, can you feel the body? Walking to the bathroom, can you feel the body? Taking a shower, can you feel the body? On the way to work, walking, can you feel the body? And so forth. You're really getting into this practice, and you're getting better day by day. You are starting to pick up finer and finer sensations in the body. So it's basically these fine sensations are always around. We're just not picking them up because our mindfulness in the beginning is very weak. Now when the mindfulness becomes more strong, another sign of that is that you can stay with the awareness of your body for quite some time. So you're not forgetting the body. For example, you can walk to the place where you work, if that's 10 minutes away. And during this entire walk, you can really keep the body in mind. There are no other thoughts. You're not thinking about where you're going. You're not thinking about what's ahead. You're not thinking about what was before. Then that is a sustained mindfulness on the body on the way to work. Okay? So you want to cultivate it until the mindfulness gets stronger and stronger. Once your mindfulness is really kind of let's say, has grown up a little bit, then you can also use it to have a look at thoughts. Okay? Now, how to do that, I'll show you right now. When I tell people to look at their thoughts, sometimes I tell them, look right at your thoughts right now. Like the way I told you, can you feel your body? When I say, look at your thoughts, most people are kind of confused a little bit in the beginning. Well, how to look at my thoughts? I've never really done that. How do I really see thoughts, right? So that might be your question right now. How can I actually see thoughts? Now when your mind is becoming more and more quiet because of the previous practice of mindfulness of the body, your mind becomes more quiet. It's less and less thinking. And you will notice that each time there is a thought, they become less frequent when you have more training of mindfulness. And you can rest in your body more and more, thoughts become less frequent. And so they are quite loud when they arrive. So you're calmly there, sitting, feeling the body. All of a sudden the mind starts to talk. It says something. So it's like, oh, that's a nice tree over there. Or look at that man with his dog. He's walking his dog. It's quite a cute dog over there. So suddenly the mind kind of comments on the situation at hand. Now, that is what you could call thinking, or it's a commenting mind. It's a verbalizing mind. That kind of thought right there would be a verbalized thought. You can also have imaginative thoughts. For example, a thought that kind of manifests as an image, an inner picture that you have. You suddenly imagine that the dog of the man that has been walking his dog is growing and turning into a lion, and it's attacking you, and all of a sudden you have to run for your life, so that story kind of plays in your head for a little while. And then you'll notice that this is kind of like a movie almost, okay? Then what I also count into the field of thoughts or mental movements would be this kind of emotional internal states that are also felt and experienced in the body. So basically also intentions or motivations or the feeling of greed or jealousy or anger and so forth. All these kind of inner states that we experience in the mind, I would just say that these are mental movements. You will start to see them with more ease when you have properly prepared yourself. So in other words, when you have properly practiced to be mindful in your body for long enough times, then it will also become more easy to actually recognize movements in the mind. You might be able to do that in the beginning, maybe right now. You can look at your mind and see what thought comes up next. But just take a short break, waiting a little bit. What's the first kind of thought that comes into your mind? Is it a verbal thought? Is it an imagination? Is it kind of an emotional state, a feeling? What do you notice? What do you observe that's going on in the mind? So you can do that, but in the beginning it's really difficult not to get caught up in what is going on in the inner movie. Look, when you're watching a movie, then usually all your attention kind of sucked into the screen. You're totally forgetting yourself. You're sitting there in the cinema, you don't even know that you're holding on to your popcorn and that you're totally tense and stressed out because you don't know if Jack is going to make it. So you're there with your popcorn, but you don't know that you're holding popcorn because you're totally lost in the action of the movie. Now the mind is kind of 10 times worse. We are completely lost in the movies of our conditioned mind most of the time. So to be mindful of that takes some stability of mindfulness. And so in order to practice that, we start by cultivating it in the body. Once you get proficient in that practice, then you can move on playfully occasionally and have a look at your mental states as they arise and pass. When looking at your thoughts, let's say the verbal storyline in your head, okay, I'm saying head because that's where most people feel the sense of thinking, right? You're not feeling your thoughts in your elbows, you're not feeling them in your knees. Most people feel a sense of thinking in the head. So when there are thoughts going on in your head, this kind of story, that constant talking, can you be there as a listener? If your mindfulness is already a bit stronger, you can actually stay for a good while as a listener. A good question to ask yourself is, your thoughts are constantly talking. Who are they talking to? Right? So there seems to be something that is conscious of the thoughts, that is able to listen to them, is able to be aware of those thoughts. And that's where it gets interesting. So we are dwelling as the one who knows thoughts, the knower of thoughts, is being mindful of thinking. And then you inform that mindfulness with wisdom. You're not just looking at thoughts coming and going, but you see that none of those thoughts are actually lasting for even a second. One word comes and it goes. The next word comes and it goes. One image comes and it goes. The mind is arising and passing so fast, second by second. So you're informing your mindfulness to look at the mind as it arises and passes with wisdom. You will slowly understand that the mind is a very unstable thing. You'll understand that not intellectually, but you understand it from experience, from mindfully observing the mind. Once you can do that, it will become quite clear that thinking is just thinking. So the tendency of getting caught up in opinions, views, perceptions, in mental emotional states, anger, jealousy, and self-loathing, sense of rejection, not feeling worthy, feeling guilty, feeling shameful, is greatly reduced because you can see it clearly. And because you can see clearly, you can then also let it go, and you can just simply leave it as what it is, just thinking. But it helps me a great deal to sometimes just quietly inform my mindfulness to see, like, look, it's just thinking. To see that when the mind is like building up its kind of story of, oh, Tobi, you're worth nothing, no one loves you, and oh God, and no one is watching your videos, and all that kind of stuff. If that comes up in my mind, then I can recognize, what, there it is again. It's thinking. It's just thinking. And the mind thinks the way it has learned to think. And you learn to think throughout your entire lifetime. Your friends are showing you, your parents are showing you, school teachers are showing you, movies are showing you, newspapers are informing you. Everything is basically informing the mind, loading the mind with content. This entire world around us. And it's that content that kind of is on replay. It's constantly replaying. It's constantly the same. If you're looking at your thoughts, it's the same stuff over and over and over again, isn't it? So when you see that often enough, you kind of become more relaxed about it. You can let go of your thoughts. You can be at ease, peaceful and happy. And that's the point of the practice, isn't it? So this completes episode 14. I hope that it was useful. I hope you have a lot of fun with actually looking at the movie of your mind with wisdom and seeing that things come and go like the images of a cartoon, actually. And to being able to not taking the mind so seriously anymore, but actually recognizing thoughts are just thoughts. Thinking is just thinking. Emotions are just emotions, and that's that. There's no more drama. We're not getting caught up in it anymore. We can relax. We don't lose all of our energies in the pointless movements of our mind. If you have any questions or any input, feel free to write it down in the comment section below. I hope it was helpful. I really hope to see you again next Wednesday for our 15th episode. All the best. Have a great week. Bye-bye.